This is episode 226 of the UFO Buster Radio UBR News Report. I think every time that I say that, I mess it up even more. Every single time I say it, I fuck it up, but that's the way it is. This is episode number 226. And, there's a trend right now in ufology, and that is the trend to find really insignificant news and documents and reports and shit like that to bring it out to the public. That's what the UFO News Report is about today. It's about something that broke today, having to do with the Congress here in the U.S., and then following in the footsteps of what I reported about Richard Dolan yesterday. I want to thank Chris Davis across the pond out there. Thank you for your statements. Chris wrote a dissertation on why Richard Dolan is a good guy, but he felt that, kind of like I did, that this might be misinformation that he had. And then again, let me just clear something up. I understand a lot of people love Richard Dolan. He's got the wavy hair and shit. And he seems like a straight guy. I'm not saying anything else. I'm just saying he seems like a straight shooter. Kind of like a little reserved a bit, kind of maybe introverted in a lot of ways. I get it. And I understand that he's got a message to give. But it's been decades. The UFO story has been around for decades. And for those of you who don't know, a decade is like 10 fucking years. And you put a bunch of fucking decades, you got a bunch of fucking 10 years. Multiply by whatever amount you want to say. And to have a piece of paper that says that people got together and talked about secret government projects about UFOs, it's regurgitation. It's the same shit all over again. It's the same shit you hear every year. There's nothing new in that. Zero. Nada. And a lot of you got your butt hurt just because of what I said yesterday, but that's the way it is. You sit down and go through whatever file you have, your Excel file, your Word documents, all your paper clippings, whatever the fuck it is that you do to follow ufology. And I guarantee you that every 2 to 3 years, you come across something that says, new memo came out. There's some new top secret shit got disclosed. This is no different. This is no different again. Just like the shit in Roswell. Every year, every 2 years, some shit happens in Roswell that's going to break open the Roswell situation. And finally, the truth is going to be told. And fuck if it doesn't get told. But a shitload more people go. A lot of more people find out about Roswell that didn't know before, and they attend the convention. Kind of makes you wonder. I'm really, to be honest, I think we're a year too late for Jaime Maussan to give us the next big thing out of South America. This should be his year, actually. So, Jaime, if you're out there, you're running a little late, buddy. You need to put some of those fucking bodies together and show us the newfangled alien that you found somewhere in fucking Peru, Colombia, the fucking Arctic. Wherever you're going to go to drop that body you put together, let us know. That's just the way it is. That is the state of ufology. And, it's magical. It really is. Because we are basically a bunch of fucking adults who get all excited like we're going to fucking Disney World. Every year, some shit happens. Like freaking yesterday, that memo. They basically took us to Disney World yesterday. Some of you were even sitting on Mickey's lap. Unbeknownst to you, something was poking at you. Not going to go into details there. But anyway, this is number 226. We got something to talk about, and it really comes in the heels of what we talked about yesterday. And if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to fucking repeat it. Go to 225 and figure that shit out. But today, we've got something else, and let's talk about it. Like, right now. That's right. The story today is that several congressmen, and there might be some congresswomen in there. I don't know. I don't have fucking names on this. Apparently got some documents. I hope they got the memo from Richard Dolan. Wouldn't that be the shit, right? Richard Dolan is all happy about this memo he got. Oh, he's dancing around, right? He's got his Mickey ears on. He's dancing around, and he got this situation that happened back in 1997, and some fuckers in the 2000s talked about it. And so, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't he just have an orgasm if we found out that some of the shit that they gave to Congress was that same 15-page document that he was peddling on YouTube? That just means you made it, Richard. That just means you made it. But the news story that's coming out, and it's pretty much everywhere, especially in those places that you normally do not associate with UFOs and ufology, are saying this: Washington, but not Trump, parentheses, suddenly taking UFOs more seriously. First of all, why wouldn't they, right? If your armed forces is putting out new rules for reporting UFOs because the servicemen and women are too goddamn scared to fucking report it because their careers are going to go in the shitter, why wouldn't you take notice? If you got some dude, like, I won't say his name, Elizondo, who went in to some kind of a program at the Department of Defense and says that he took some videos of UFOs or UAPs from the government, which they apparently oversee because they're Congress, and they didn't know shit, apparently. If this dude says he took all these videos and said under the guise of training of an incident with our naval forces tracking a UFO that danced around them like they were, Aborigine freaking jets which don't exist, You should probably, get into one of those nice little offices in Washington with all the mahogany wood and look at some shit. That might be a good fucking idea. It really would. So, basically, what we're saying here, according to this article, which, by the way, was published by Forbes, of all fucking people, what the fuck does Forbes know about? Why is even Forbes talking about UFOs? Ask yourself that question. Makes no damn sense, I know. I just gave you a moment so you can ask yourself, but I know you're probably like sitting there just waiting for me to say something, but I was giving you a time to process that because it's crazy. So this is the tagline here: Washington lawmakers, but not President Trump, are abruptly taking reports of UFO sightings seriously, with senators coming out of the woodwork, just like the fuck I said. Actually, about Forbes, I said that, and a couple of other news paper outlets or news outlets, coming out of the woodwork to receive classified briefings, the results of a growing acknowledgment, and this is the part that you're going to love, destigmatization. What a great word. And revamp record keeping of mysterious reports from U.S. Navy pilots. And that's the hashtag right there, U.S. Navy pilots. Goes back to the Navy saying, hey, guys, it's okay. I mean, we're good now. You can go ahead and report it. We're not going to do anything to you. Your career is intact. Just tell me, what did you see? You've got to take notice. If you're running the fucking government, take notice. If your armed forces is saying, there's something fucked up there, and I don't know what the fuck it is, and I was on one of your most fierce, fastest, and most maneuverable jets, and that didn't do shit for me. You bitches need a refund. That's basically what happened. And so now they want to take notice. Now they want to have meetings about it. Now they want to get together, get a little tea party, throw the pinky up, get some tea and crumpets. I know it's America, so it's probably more like bologna sandwiches or pizza. And they want to talk about it now. It's kind of strange, I think. Kind of really strange. Now, the thing is that our president, Donald J. Trump, apparently was talking to ABC News about this in an interview, and he said this, and I quote, I did have one very brief meeting on it, and he says, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly. Apparently he missed the idea of what a UFO is, but, listen, anyone that can take a dump on China just by saying the word China for minutes, 2-3 minutes, and remain relevant in politics, you got to give the guy some credit. That's all I got to say. Just give him some credit. Of course, this Forbes article is going again back to Fravors incident back with the U.S. Navy, and even that, it should have happened on the East Coast a few years after that. And it also quotes directly Tic-Tac UFOs. Folks, listen, the only thing that To the Stars Academy did, and anyone else associated with them, Elizondo, it basically was to bring this forward because, shit, is anyone even validating what the fuck the Tic-Tac video was? No one's even doing that. They are reporting this every chance they get. Every UFO story, the fucking Tic-Tac video UFO ends up quoted in here somewhere. Just read back. They throw it in there just for fuck's sake, just because they can. No one gives a fuck, apparently, because of all these articles, everything's been printed ever since the first time that it was disclosed by To the Stars Academy. They throw this shit in. It's like no one's still paying attention. Like when they get to the Tic-Tac, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, somebody got probed in Ohio and Tic-Tac video. Yeah, forget it. Nobody cares. Nobody gives two fucks. I mean, even fucking Ford, not Ford. Sorry. Even Forbes is talking about it. They're quoting the incident with these Navy pilots. But still, no one gives two shits. I guarantee you, there's people out there who read Forbes all the fucking time, and those sons of bitches have no idea what the fuck a Tic-Tac video is. No one cares about what happened to U.S. Navy in Forbes. As soon as they get to that part, it's like they go brain dead. What can you do? Rolling Stone magazine kept on hitting To the Stars Academy with it, right? Especially when we had that report of how badly financially they were doing. They mentioned the Tic-Tac situation. Do you think anybody paid attention to that? No. No. All they cared was that Blink-182 was mentioned in there somewhere. Nobody gave a fuck about the Tic-Tac video. Fuck it. Who cares? Maybe the problem is that they said Tic-Tac. They just think about candies and, nostalgia comes in. They drift off a little bit and they run down to the local store, get some Tic-Tacs, and they're happy. But that's the way it is these days. No one gives 1, 2, or 3 fucks. So basically, this article ends basically telling you what the key background is. And again, like I said, back again, another reference in the article to the Tic-Tac situation. I mean, Trump only had like about 2 sentences in this, but I bet you he's going to be the main draw for all these articles is the fact that Trump had anything to say about it. But everything else having to do with that incident is going to go completely and totally ignored because that's the way it's been and that's the way that things roll around here. So yes, I hope that Richard Dolan's little article actually makes it into Washington and some of these senators look at it, read it, try to understand it. I mean, hell, Harry Reid, I guarantee Harry Reid probably has a copy of that memo right now. I'm telling you, he does. I could see it. I feel it. I see it. Him, Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, he's on there because, hell, he was mentioned in it. He probably framed that shit and put it in his office somewhere. Greer, the reptilian man, I bet you he also has a copy of that article. He probably fucking printed that shit himself. He wrote it. Yeah, he wrote it and he passed it around. Let's see what these fuckers do now. This is going to be the title of my next video. Yeah, he's already working on it. This is going to be the focal point of the video, the next Greer video. I write it down right now. Put it in your fucking calendar. Next year's Greer video is going to be this. Unaccepted. That's going to be the title of it. Not unacknowledged, not whatever the fuck it is. It's going to be unaccepted. The ufology story. Next Greer's video. Write it down. Just tell a man in Moonraker said it. What are the Vegas odds on that? That's what I want to know. Maybe we should start some. What the fuck is Greer's next video? What is it going to be titled? Now, let's just be clear about one thing. The article states that the Navy says it's not aliens. Ask Lieutenant Fravor what the fuck it was then, because it sure as hell wasn't anything he ever saw. The president says it's a bunch of hoopla. What the fuck is a UFO? What are you, crazy? You're fired. Most people will tell you that it's not. As a matter of fact, they even quoted some knucklehead in this article, which again is sad because they're spreading BS. Senior astrophysicist Leon Golub told the Times that aliens being the cause was unlikely and that a more mundane explanation like bugs, not UFO the bug, UFO bugs the UFO hunter. It says like bugs in the Navy's imaging software or aerial weather patterns were more probable. You're saying that a Navy pilot with years of experience under his belt, who actually said he saw it with his own fucking 2 eyes, it's some kind of an imaging software problem. Who the fuck is this Golub kidding? What the hell is going on? Why would they even print this trash? And that's the thing to me. Whoever wrote this didn't even bother to read the whole story about the Tic-Tac incident or anything else. Gimbal, none of them. Because apparently no one even understood that there were actual fucking pilots looking at this. So people will read this and they'll dismiss it just because this guy who's an astrophysicist says, yeah, it's probably software problems. That was an aerial phenomena, really. How many clouds perfectly hold the shape of a tic-tac, drop 30,000 feet, fuck around in the water, and come back up in seconds? I mean, I've never seen a cloud do that. I don't know about you guys. I've seen a lot of clouds that look like the Simpsons opening, but never one that looks like a tic-tac the size of an aircraft to do shit like that. But it's got to be the truth because the Forbes put it together. And that's where the whole disinformation thing just runs fucking wild. Because they mix all this stuff together without having the full story, the full facts. And if your president says, I don't believe in that shit, get the fuck out of here. Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you do the same thing? Like I said, folks, ufology is magical. Totally magical. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Facebook, UFO Buster Radio, and Manny Moonraker pages at UFO Buster Radio on the Twitters. And don't forget to follow on Twitter, the Dark Horde, at the Dark Horde, because we are promoting people like Leon Beebe. A lot of you really enjoyed listening to Leon Beebe a lot. You know, he's like, what can I say? The guy really represents the blue-collar space and those individuals who take their own time. No one's paying those fuckers. No one's paying them. Anyone who's a blue-collar and puts a book together, ain't nobody paying them. They're doing that because they have an interest, a genuine interest. Leon Beebe, he's one of them. Check out his book. Go to the day before, the interview. Listen to it. Go check it out. Go to Amazon. Look it up. Leon Beebe. He's got 2 books on there. Third one coming next year, as well as the Ancient Aliens appearance. I wonder if maybe I can join him in that. Maybe have the Moonraker on Ancient Aliens. Who knows? Fuck. Who knows what the future holds, right? By the way, if you were out driving on I-45, heading to Galveston, if you were heading to South Padre, if you were in San Bernardino, that's a couple of other places, South Padre, Port Aransas. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there was a UFO Buster Radio a billboard playing out there, and maybe you saw it. You didn't put two and two together. Or maybe you just joined me because you saw a billboard, digital billboard, gigantic thing with UFO Buster Radio on it. We're going to spread that along the rest of Texas, and then we'll pick some other places. You know, in Cali, they love it because the weed is running rampant. So could you imagine? You're high as fuck. You're going down one of them damn highways, and you see a big-ass alien on a poster saying, a billboard saying he's going to probe the shit out of you. That'd be a good reason for you to jump out of your car high as fuck, get completely naked, and end up on the news. Just a suggestion. I don't know. It's up to you. Like I said, folks, this is the end of it. This is the end of this episode. But ufology is magical, and this song I'm playing right now is called Magical because I'm magic, bitches, and so are you. Ciao.
With you, I am alright. There's something about the way you make me feel inside. I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me. Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No, I wanna hold your hand in mine, watch the sunset in your eyes. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Whoa, whoa. This could be magical. Whoa, whoa. To escape, and here we are, driving narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea. Think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a pose. I remember every day that I spent right here with you. Yeah, you are the one who makes me feel as good as I do. Baby, I wanna still act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud.